Hey.
Hi, guys.
Hola.
It's
the
Migas. Oh, the vocal cords.
I know we're getting a little bit better. I know you had your little tea before this.
Yes.
Maybe I need to do a little lemon water, a little gargle. Let me stop.
Yes.
Welcome back to episode tres, número tres. How do you say it in French?
Trois.
Oh, that. I'm not even gonna try it because it's gonna sound like something else.
In Arabic. Oh, done.
And how do you say it in Arabic? We're also gonna do a language course,
right? Tlata.
Okay.
Tlata.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's how you say 3 in Arabic.
But it's crazy because that's Moroccan. Tlata, and then in Arabic, Talata. I'm like, okay.
Caleta, caleta, chocleta.
I'm done with you.
Yeah, don't leave me with the language. But welcome back.
Welcome back, y'all.
How you doing, mama, mother, mommy?
Good.
How do you say mother in Arabic?
Mama.
That's and in French, it's mama.
Mère.
Mamu?
Right?
Maman.
Maman.
Maman. Maman.
Yes.
And in Spanish, mommy.
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 It's funny because that's what Zoe calls me.
I love it.
And then the mom, mama, mommy, and then
bro.
And then Zoe says it like a Latina, mommy,
mommy,
because she calls Blanca mommy.
I love it. I love it.
We're both her mommy.
How you doing though?
Good. Here. Surviving. Kids are back in school. Thank God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I got my Monday back.
Well, you get your Mondays back. I go to the office. Girl.
I know.
So, but that is a little vacation for me. I'm not going to lie.
I bet.
I'm not going to lie.
I bet.
Like, I don't mind.
There's a lot of moms that stay at home and that literally envy the husbands or the partners that get to leave the household and go interact with the world. And then they're stuck at home conversing with a toddler or a baby.
Being bullied by a toddler.
That too, take control of the plane and don't let yourself be bullied by a toddler today.
Right?
Or any child, any age, because I've heard as they're getting older is worse. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, Ollie's in this phase.
We will see when we get there how I'm going to be.
He does it in like a sweet way that he doesn't listen to me. And I've gotten to the point where I'm like, this is not a suggestion. Like, me telling you to stop is not a suggestion. It is an order.
This is what I say lately. Like when Caleb wants to negotiate, I literally look at him and I'm like, I do not negotiate with toddlers. 0. It's either this or this. Make a choice.
Yeah, seriously. But then he riles up the other two, and then it's a stampede. It is like,
it's a game.
Do you know in Lion King when they have the stampede? That's what my house sounds like when they're running around. And I'm like, stop.
It's an elephant herd.
And I say it like 20 times. I'm like, oh my God, did we get a parrot? Because it's like, I'm just stop.
Yeah, girl. Like
Chaos.
I said, hats off to you and all of the other mothers listening to us that are moms of multiples, and especially when you had them all within I don't know, like a 6-year, 7-year, 3-year time span. Like shout out to ya, because I'm here as a mama of one, and like I say, hats off, salute, bow down.
I will take the kudos because it is rough out. And it's crazy because I've said this before in a different episode that I've experienced motherhood in all different phases. So like working remotely with the kids at home 100% of the time, and then working in an office and being outside of the home, and then now with more of like the flexible, and then when I was laid off, being at home. I was able to experience all of them. And my favorite one was obviously being home. That one was great. I was like, this is fabulous.
Which one? Pandemic home or layoff home?
Layoff home. I was just like, I am thriving up in here. This is great. I get to go do all of these things. And now it's like, yes, I love the flexibility of my job. It is so great. However, it's tiring. It's a lot. And
I think just physically having to like drive somewhere and like the mindset of making it there on the certain time, making sure you grabbed everything you needed, not only for you, but for the kiddos themselves, for their drop-offs.
Yeah. I
Like I
took
said,
I
shout out
took
to you.
Zoe all the way to the babysitter, and my routine is like, so I get all 3 kids ready in the morning. We get like Ollie gets picked up by the bus, and then I get Alina ready so that her father can take her to school, and then I take Zoe to the babysitter. I dropped her off, and I'm like, let me look in my bag to make sure I have everything. I forgot my laptop at home.
Where's the wah, wah, wah?
I was like, are you joking? So I had to go all the way around, and then I had to get like on the parkway to get to my I was like, this is absolute chaos. Like, if it was any other job, I actually enjoy where I work and stuff. I would have been like, F this, I'm staying home. I'm gonna stay remote. It is what it is. This is
Like
God's plan. Like the
the
day
day's
is done.
done.
Yeah. But I went, I got my laptop, and I still made it at a decent time. And I get there and I'm like, I get everything. Like, I just, when I sit down at my desk, like the way that it is, like I focus 1000%, I get everything done. I'm like, 1 o'clock is my deadline to get all my work done. 1 p.m. I'm done. So that 2 to 5, I can see what the team needs and like kind of talk to them and see what they need, and then kind of get my shit together, because I bring my little planner and I'm like, what are the things that my kids need? What am I making for dinner? What like, all that
So
stuff.
that is the mom hack for you, is setting those timelines.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is so important
It is.
to do that.
One thing about motherhood, it's like you can wing it. Yes, you can. You can.
But there's certain things or
You just
days that you
can't.
just
You just
cannot.
cannot.
You cannot.
And here's the beauty of it. Every household runs differently. So, guys, Cindy and I are alike in many, many different things. Like, we are pretty much carbon copies of each other.
Yes.
But
Copy paste.
but we do mother differently. We run our households differently. And in a way that how she runs her household, we're not like, this is a definition. Like, when they're like, I'm a girl's girl, it's like, I'm a mom's mom. Like, you know what I
Hey,
mean?
I like that. Hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag I'm a mom's mom. Because
I'm a mom's
how
mom.
you
Put it on
do
a shirt.
things, right? Put that shit on the back. Like, how you run things, how we do it differently, but there's no like, oh,
You should have done this.
or
why didn't you do it that way? I do it this, and this is what works for me.
yeah, or oh my God, am I not doing enough because I see how Cindy's doing XYZ, LMNOP, QRS, like, and all of that. And that's the importance of bringing yourself and what you feel is right for your family, because at the end of the day, they're your family.
Word.
And how you want to run your household, how you and your partner want to tackle this life, and this journey of parenthood. Because we speak a lot about motherhood, but at the end of the day, like, I'm sorry, I didn't have this kid by myself.
Word.
Like, it's
Teamwork.
Teamwork
Makes the dream work.
And we always talk
It
about
makes
like
the baby.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it did. It's fun. Slay. But it is, at the end of the day, it's a partnership, and parenthood is actually ghetto. It's ghetto, but it's a beautiful ghetto.
It is.
It's a beautiful ghetto.
It's the best hood, like they say.
It is the best hood. It is. And
but you gotta struggle. You got in the
Word.
hood, you struggle. In the ghettos, you struggle. There's sacrifices. But lately, my thing is too, that I've been saying, and I've been sharing with anyone that I'm able to have an intimate conversation with, is you are and the same thing, I guess, like your children as well. You are the, now I'm gonna have a brain fart. You are the consequences of your actions, your choices. Like, every choice comes with a consequence, whether that's good or bad. And I feel like the same thing, like, again, if I know that, again, those days that you cannot wing in parenthood, motherhood, if I didn't prepare the day before, then again, I'm going to be suffering, and I can only, again, sit there and blame myself. But I live and I learn. I'm like, all right, next time I'll do better. Now I know. I think one of the things for my crazy ass busy Saturdays with Caleb, one day I forgot to pack the kid a change of underwear and like undershirt, because we leave the house in swimwear. So I was like, we're good. I got the bag. The bag has everything. The bag has
secured.
The bag secured. It got the karate. It got the kid strong. All the things that he needs.
It got the UFC medals. It got
And then I remember that day I'm feeling good. I was like, yes, this is the motherhood win day. I go to change him, and I'm like, ¿A dónde están los calzoncillos? Where are his freaking boxer briefs? I'm like, crap. I was like, hey, buddy,
you're gonna be free balling it.
I guess it's a free balling type of day. And I was just waiting for him because, again, these toddlers, they want to negotiate. I was waiting. And I'm like, I need to make sure that I have this answer ready for him. But he didn't question it. I was just like, I just threw on the karate pants, threw on the karate shirt, and then he was fine. And when I had to change it throughout the day, but for the following time, I was like, I gotta make sure. Even I remember the next time I told him, I was like, hey, make sure you have your underwear and your. I put him in charge.
You're in charge.
So that's my mom hack. And at the same time, I feel like with these toddlers, the majority of the time, I feel like with children, period, adults, period, but we're talking about the kids. They want to feel like they're responsible for something. So with him, I told him, I was like, hey, go get your shirt. And go get a pair of underwear. He's like, where's the shirt? And I was like, it's literally right next to your underwear. And he already knows where that drawer is.
Yeah.
And it also let me go ahead and do something else while he was getting that. Instead, I'm like, shit, I gotta run upstairs. So little things to help you save time. And I love that, again, like going back to like what you said, that okay, by 1 o'clock, then I'm moving on to the next task. For me, one of the things that's been helpful too is just setting multiple alarms in the morning. I'm like, all right, by this time we have to be out the door. And then I give myself that buffer. I think I've mentioned this in previous episodes. Giving yourself sometimes that 5-minute buffer is huge.
Yeah.
And again, especially because, I forgot this or I forgot that. Or even yourself, oh shit, I forgot to grab my water, I forgot to grab my coffee, whatever it is. Then you're still going to be on time because you gave yourself that extra 5 minutes. Sometimes I've been pushing that shit to 10 minutes. So I'm like, wait, those 5 minutes weren't enough. Or it's not enough time for me to go back in the house, grab whatever I need to grab. And then also setting timers. When we're at a place, especially going back to my Saturdays, it was pretty much like back-to-back classes. One of the places, after they're done in the swim school, they have a play area. So of course, once I get dressed and go play, I'm like, you got literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes. I really set it for 3. He thought it was 5. Again, he doesn't understand.
No concept of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I do it for 5 minutes, by the time I stop it, by the time I put on his coat, by the time we get in the car, we're already 2 minutes. We're 2 minutes behind schedule. And again, I'm only really like that on Saturdays just for the sake of making it on time to these places. And that's another thing too. If you have your child involved in any activity, and I'm sure you've experienced it, like if you arrive to one of these classes late, you're already kind of like exasperated as a parent. The kid is thrown off. You're interrupting the class. So think about it, just arriving late, you as an adult, to anything that there's other people already there or it started at a certain time. It's the same thing for a child. And shout out literally to the little gem of Wayne for instilling all these things. I guess the mommy and me classes, you think it's mostly for the child, but you learn so much as a mom. Like I literally, a lot of my fundamental things that you hear about all this stuff, you could read about all this stuff, but unless you're actually hearing it directly from somebody in a class or whatever it is that you're taking from somebody that comes with all these years of experience and can tell you or show you the results of doing things a certain way. I just lost my train of thought.
Well, let me just go back to the little gym.
Yeah.
I will tell you, because I've taken Oliver and I've taken Zoe, because Alina had zero interest in being in the little gym. She's like, fuck this place. I was like, girl, savage. But Coach Marat will call you out.
Yes.
And he's done it so many times. And I get like secondhand embarrassment because I'm just like, bro. And I saw him do it to somebody once and I was like, no, if we're 5 minutes late, we got to figure something else out. I don't need to be called out. He literally is like, but he does it in a way. But
he's stressing the importance of it.
But the way he does it is so like
you're going to get detention.
I'm sorry, but it is like petty girl behavior and I'm here for it. I'm like, I love the pettiness, Coach Marat. He's like, hi, the importance of being here early so that all of our littles can get all of their brain functions together. And I'm like, oh my God. He's like, we don't want to interrupt all the other littles in the class. And I'm like, this.
But it literally, it drives the point. And like that has stuck with me again. And I even say, I was like, I felt like I was always late before being a mom. And now I'm mostly on time to things.
Yeah.
Because of that mindset.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh shit, I'm on time. But again, giving myself that room. But the timer works. I got up to this time to do this. And I even implemented that. I wasn't mothering, but for my New Year's Eve prep.
Yeah.
I was like, the whole thing that my sister had put up had fallen down. It came crashing. Which she had set up the night before, so we didn't have to worry about it the day of. We still worried about the day of. She wasn't around, so I was like, crap, I need to fix this. But I was like, all right. I saw the time. I was like, I got an hour. And I literally told myself, I'm doing a hard stop at 6. I literally extended that to 6:05. Again, a couple minutes.
5-minute buffer.
Right. And I was like, that's it. I was like, whatever I could get done, then by the time she gets here, she just has to add her little Calcano events touch to it. But I was like, if I don't stop, then I'm gonna keep going, and it's gonna be 7:00. Then I'm gonna ready to go. I'm not gonna have time to shower. I wanted to take my time to do my makeup. So all these things for if you're again seeing it, just seeing the end result, all the shit that happened behind the scenes is because of those time limits. And I think in any business or setup or even like a production thing, there's times.
It's a call sheet. So, in the role that I have, we do a lot of events, and that's literally, it's a call to action, and we have a call sheet on literally times and what happens on where on the agenda, and it's detailed. Like, we have things that we need to do, and I bring that energy to motherhood, but it's time blocking. That's really what it is. You're blocking your time. You're doing everything in a format that you're just like, this gets, if it's all right, well, what's more important? And sometimes you have to pivot.
Absolutely. And these are the little secrets and gems that we're dropping for you guys on, again, you're seeing the end results of our lives on Instagram, but this is how we make it happen. Because I feel like, I'm sure you guys are probably all like, how do they do it all?
I personally don't share that much with my kids, just because, like, I mean, I've been extremely transparent on here with my children's diagnosis. And it's like, I just feel for them, especially when they're having a hard time, which is more often than not of acclimating to new surroundings, things like that. I just don't want to have like I need to focus 1000%
in the moment and not
So,
like whip out a phone.
yeah. So like, we planned, for example, here's a motherhood. This was a motherhood win. I was like, a win is a win. A win is a win. I don't give a fuck. Like, this was a win. So I was absolutely insane and took all 3 kids to the movies to see Sonic, because it was really supposed to be, the plans were for me to take Oliver with our cousins. I have a cousin with 2 boys, and we were all going to go together, and that kept like getting pushed back. And I was like, listen, I can't keep waiting. I need to take him to go see this movie. So I told Alberto, I'm like, let's go. We're a family of 5. Let's all go to the movies. Zoe's first time in the movies.
And she's 2.
And she's 2, guys.
2.5-ish.
And yeah. And if any of you are like, why would you take a 2.5-year-old to the movies? Fuck you, because
well, that's the age that we took Caleb, and then we took him to the Spider Universe, and did not realize that movie is like 3 hours.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. No, I actually checked the Sonic. It was like what was it? An hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
it wasn't even that bad.
You were smart to look. I didn't. I was like, oh, but
remember, it's child number 3.
You did the research.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is fine. Elena has very severe noise sensitivity. It's to the point where she's scared irrationally of noise or anything with noise. New spaces, if anything is like, she feels like it's irrational fears. We're in this phase right now, and it is absolutely driving me freaking bananas. So we get to the movie theater, and I know that the way that I can bribe her or make her comfortable is with food. Hello. She's my child.
Love it. Yeah. Love the little foodie.
So she knew that we had popcorn, and she's like, well, I want popcorn. I'm like, well, if you want to eat your popcorn, you have to go into the movie theater. And she literally stood there and she assessed the situation. She was like,
smart girl.
She's like, I'm scared. I'm like, there's nothing to be scared about. Look, mommy's going to go in. You can hold my hand. And it's a lot of explaining, a lot of trying to get her comfortable. So we sat in the chairs, and they have the recliners. That was already something for her, because I let her touch the buttons, and she was like, ah! Like, it was just, seeing it from her makes you want to cry, because you're just like, this is so simple. Like, how is this so scary to you?
But having done that understanding of how different the world is for her.
Yeah. So she's like, okay. And then she's like looking around, and she goes, Mommy, I need my headphones. So I give her headphones, and just so that she can regulate and be comfortable. And then she took them off. So she was listening to this movie loud and proud,
Wow.
super loud, all this stuff. And she had a blast. She was just like, more popcorn, more popcorn. I want
Right, like,
juice.
feed me,
Yeah.
give me some grapes.
And then she's like looking at them and she's like, oh my God, Sonic. Ha ha. And like she's having a blast.
I love that.
Ollie was chilling. He got the wiggles a little bit, like towards the end of the movie. Zoe was just like, I want to get up and go. And I was like, no, you have to sit down. I was like, oh my God, look at Sonic. But they did so well.
That's so good.
And I will tell you, I hate confrontation because it's not for me. Like I get physically and like sick. I'm like, oh my God, I should never have like, I get so like angry. You're coming to a kid's movie. I don't feel sorry if you hear noise from children.
Right.
Because your grown ass is coming to a kid's movie. And someone in the back, a bunch of teenagers, were like, can that kid shut up? And I looked and I was like, well, why isn't your mother here to make you shut up? And they're like, I'm like, it's a kid's movie.
Good for you.
Like, calm your shit. And it's also 4:00.
I was gonna say too,
yeah.
it also, the time of the day makes sense of.
I'm courteous. I'm not going to bring my kids to an 8:00 movie knowing other people are coming. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm also not going to bring like.
They're probably tired.
But it's also very important to know that movie theaters do have autism days. They have autism hours for kids with like that are neurodivergent. So like the sound is different. Like it's just, I think they even keep like the lights a little more on. Like they just do that to accommodate. But at the end of the day, I'm like, my kid's diagnosis is not a handicap.
Right.
It's an extra puzzle piece that we are integrating and doing as much as we can. So it's really important to me to figure out, because the way Ollie is, the way Alina is, and I mean Zoe, thank God, you know, she's fine. But with my two oldest, as they're growing and more things are coming up, trying to do the regular things that we used to do, trying to do these things, and like new fears are popping up or new sensory issues are popping up, and I'm just kind of rolling in with it and learning as I'm going. So like when I do those little things for them, like for first day of school and like all this stuff, they thrive on routine and they thrive on what is it? Praise. They love that, especially Alina through ABA. So if I can make something so small, so big, she feels so good. And then she wants to do better in other aspects of her day.
I love that.
So I ain't got shit together. I'm gonna tell you that much.
and that's the hack there.
Yeah.
None of us do.
Yeah.
The majority, like you said, rolling with it as things come. And these are growing, developing human beings that are constantly changing. Like the saying, like when you bring a newborn home, it's literally a freaking stranger in your house. You're like, I'm like, who is this? What do you like? When do you eat?
How dare you come to my home?
and tear shit up.
And uproot my way.
Right. And that's and then it's about adapting, adjusting, constant transitioning to things. And like you said, the whole explaining and prepping. And I feel like that's a lot in itself.
Yeah.
That you have to remember to do. It's not like us, okay, just walk into a movie theater. This is what you're supposed to do. But it's like, wait, this is also their first time. And that's what motherhood for me, I have to remember.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait. Because sometimes you think, oh, well, developmentally, they could do this X, Y, Z. Then you start creating expectations. Like, well, why the hell are you crying?
Yeah.
They don't know, the same way that most of us don't know how to regulate our feelings. You have that expectation of a freaking child, you know, even like in places like restaurants, movies that, you know, adults, you sit, or society, you know, tell you to sit, stay still, eat, you know, with a fork or whatever they're saying. Like, no, these kids are eating with their hands. They're just, I wouldn't say cavemen, but they're little cavemen that we as their parents were put here to be their guides and guide them through life and show them, okay, yes, this is good, this is not. And again, like you said, you have to tailor that to what works for your household, your parenting style. And I'm sure you said it yourself, it's different for each child too, as a mom of multiples, a parent of multiples. That's why, like, I was like, if I do have a kid in the future, I'm like, I know things that worked for Kayla may not work for that second child.
Yeah.
And those are things, again, that I feel like as parents, we set ourselves up for freaking failure when we have these crazy ass expectations of our children. And sometimes like these crazy ass expectations of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you putting all that goddamn pressure on you? And that's what I learned too from the very, very beginning. But again, too, like going into parenting, because I was pregnant during the pandemic, where the world just slowed down, I look back and I'm like, shit, I am so grateful for that, because then that changed in my trajectory for parenting, period. And my sister has said it. She was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
She was like, I did not think you were going to be that type of mother. Because again, then she's pregnant. Cindy's already, da, 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 da. She's definitely going to be da, 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 like that with her child, or like the military or whatever, very strict. There's certain things. But again, I'm like, yeah, you want to do all these things, but then the child comes. It's like, nah, that's not how we're gonna do shit, sis.
You're like, see what God had told me up there,
like this is the outline that you had, and just like crumble that shit up and throw it out the
what
window.
I always say? Want to make God laugh?
Yeah,
tell him your plans.
exactly.
So,
yeah, he's been laughing a lot.
Oh yeah, he'd be cackling over there. He's like.
Seriously, like that was cute.
Yes.
That was cute, sis. But no, this is how it's actually meant to be.
Exactly.
You know, and that's even that too. Like parenthood or motherhood is just literally sometimes you got to take a back seat. You got to take the back, like forget the wheel. Literally, leave that to Jesus. That is. And sit in the back and just observe. Sometimes you just need to step back and be like, all right, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Let's try, and just again, trial and error. And I know there's like things with social media, like you give the child the wrong cup. That's not the cup that I wanted. I wanted it in the blue cup or whatever. Yeah. So that's why even now in the mornings, like Caleb has his sopa, his bone broth. And I always got to ask him, because I was like, I'm not going to start my fucking day
arguing
over a cup. I'm not doing it. It's like, I'm not setting myself up for failure.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do you want it in this cup or this cup? It's not like I open the cupboard and like, which cup do you want? Because then that's also setting myself up for failure, because then I'm giving you too many freaking options.
Yeah.
And when your brain is not there to process, I have all of these options, but I can only pick one. Mm-hmm. So that's why you just kind of control the situation and just pick out 2 cups. And I've been giving him the sopa in a specific cup. But I was like, I don't know, maybe today he'll wake up that he don't want to fucking in that, the drink in that cup. So let me at least give him an option. He's like, no, I'm good with that one. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's taking that step back, analyzing the situation. All right, that works, that doesn't. Let's adjust, let's adapt, and just keep pivoting. Yeah. I feel like parenthood equals constant pivoting.
So parenthood is the couch. In Friends. And then Ross, Rachel, and Chandler are the ones moving. Pivot! Like that's life.
Yeah.
Throw shit at you. Like,
perfect metaphor analogy.
And you're just stuck. You're just like, it is what it is. I'm gonna do my best.
Just sit on the couch and go for the ride. Like buckle up. And in a way, I just feel like too, maybe more so moms than dads. Like we keep our freaking stress levels so high, and we're here sweating the freaking small stuff. We're making a big deal out of the little shit. Again, like even just simply as something spilling on the floor, and you're like, fuck, I gotta clean that up now. I'm gonna be again. But if you gave yourself that buffer, that time, either leave it there, clean it up when you get home, or just go with the flow of it. That's why one of my biggest things that I ended 2024 with was like, I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah.
Because then, no, I would be trying to play speed racer on the highway. Like, oh no, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna beat that time that Waze says. And I'm like, no. I was like, oh Waze, that's when you want me to get there.
That's my suggested time.
That's great. Sure, I'll get there. I'm not gonna beat it this time. And sometimes I do end up beating it without even realizing. I'm like, oh look at that, haha, I got there. I even have 2 more minutes. Great, 2 more minutes out of that 5 minutes. So it's just that taking the step back and literally just
USA.
Breathing. And again, I'm doing this for myself right now because thinking of everything and all the work that it has taken to get here. But it's all been worth it. Like we have to go through, again, the shit storms that I talked about in that first episode.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm sitting here now, and before I was like trying to catch all the shit. Here we go.
You're just like,
and now again, I'm still sitting under my umbrella and just chilling, and but little by little, and again, putting it into practice daily, because we can sit here and talk, but what are the actual actions that we're putting into play again on a daily? And like you said, and kids, I think kids in general thrive on routine. Us adults thrive on routine. So it's creating that routine for yourself and your family. Again, it could just be like, okay, Monday through Wednesday, this is what our days look like. And it's not, don't say that this is how it needs to be every single day, because there's other days that you do have to wing it. But when you know there's like that doctor appointment scheduled, you have to pick up the child in the middle of the school day. Like, now you're going to bring that kid back to school. Are you going to go back to work after that? Or are you just going to call it a day? Like little things like that. And maybe, hey, make that a tradition. If you have a doctor's appointment that is in the middle of the day, work half the day if you can. Take the kid to school half the day. And then after the doctor's appointment,
make something. Yeah.
Yeah, go home, treat yourself, relax, order that Chinese food.
Yeah. So we do a thing at my house. So like I do a menu every week. It's easier because I use the Walmart Plus app thing, like, and I order all my groceries through Walmart because it's just easier and like it keeps the cost down. Because honestly, when I go food shopping, I get like, I'm like, who am I, fucking Gordon Ramsay? Like, shut the hell up, Nora.
Same,
like, I don't have
same.
all
And then
these
the shit
things.
goes bad in the fridge because you thought you were gonna whip up that recipe,
and, I'm like,
and it's just
not.
like the greens are just there, like, hello.
Yeah, they're like, help me. But I have like my staple items, and then I get like extra things. Like if I'm in a pinch, I know I could just freaking either throw that in the crock pot or what is that thing? The pressure cooker. Instapot. Or it's something so fast, like my broccoli and noodles that looks gourmet, but it's not. But that, like, I get those things super easy. I make them. The kids, I call it Fend for Yourself Friday and then Solo Saturday, because I'm not doing shit on Saturday. I'm like, nah, sorry, not doing anything. Every Friday, it's McDonald's Friday, because they know after school I go get them McDonald's. And I was like, it's your one time to get McDonald's. And like they'll ask me in the middle of the week, can we get McDonald's? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, what day of the week is it? And they're like, it's Wednesday. And I'm like, is it Friday? It's not Friday. So you get McDonald's Friday.
Smart.
So they know, and it's like a treat for them. Like they're like, yes, okay, blah, blah, blah. Then on Saturday, I'm like, no, if there's something in the fridge that I can make, throw together, that's fine. But if not, too bad, so sad. We're going to be ordering out because I'm tired. And then Sunday is like Sunday reset. So like that's when all the groceries come in. I get everything done. And then I literally put it on the fridge, the menu for the week. And it's like, whatever. And usually it's like, I call it Taco Tuesday, but it's like Quesadilla Tuesday.
It's like a Tex-Mex Tuesday. And it's just, I love that. And that is something that we're not consistent with in our household. And then it gets you in trouble, as far as then you got to sit there and like figure out and what you're going to eat. And then it always ends up you're ordering something. And then you're like, wait, why did we spend so much money on groceries this month? And ordering out. And then we also went out to eat. So it's just, we need to find that balance. With us, I mean, we stick to pasta Mondays, like or an Italian dish Monday, a Mexican dish Tuesday. And I was just like, now that I got a little bit of butter chicken down. So I was like, all right, I got a little Indian recipe now. But it's just that like having those staple, quick, easy to go to recipes, and that you know that your family is going to sit there and eat. Because I also said too, like, this would not be the household where I'm making freaking separate dishes because you don't eat a certain thing. For instance, like Caleb on Tuesday, sometimes like he's like, oh, I don't like tacos. And I'm like, that's fine. There's a tortilla, there's cheese. You want me to make it into a quesadilla or something? Or you just want to have the meat, like with all the toppings without the shell?
Yeah.
Like, this is what we have, and that's it. And I also learned to close the kitchen at a certain time. Like, if you don't eat this, then you're either going to go to bed hungry. You'll be fine. You'll literally be fine.
Yeah.
In the morning, that means you're probably just want to eat more. Or because then it's just like the whole thing that they try to do. Again, these toddlers, they go to bed. Oh, I want water. Oh, I'm hungry. This, that. So now when we go upstairs, I'm like, we're going upstairs. Do you have what you need in your belly? Do you have what you need? Like, if you want water, get it now.
Yeah.
Don't wait. And again, setting those boundaries and expectations from the get, because I'm not gonna let this drag out forever, because I don't have time for that. Like, my household does not have time for that.
Yeah. So setting, pretty much, there is no plan in motherhood.
With all that said.
every family functions differently. And the way you're functioning is fine. If your kids are happy, healthy,
Right.
you're getting your mental health checked, making sure that you have your village and all of that, you're doing
Right.
more than just fine.
Exactly.
You know, when you have a roof on over your head, like, you know, you're out there just
Grinding,
yeah,
getting the
like doing as
coins,
much
making
as you
ends
can
meet.
and creating those childhood memories. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Do not let social media fool you, because it's so hilarious when you see all of this extravagance and then when you don't look behind the camera, because I can guarantee the house is an absolute shit show, or those Amazon boxes are still there because they're returning every single thing that they just
And
put
there
on
was
here.
also a lot of yelling involved. Smile!
Yeah.
Say
Yeah.
cheese! You better freaking smile! You're getting a fucking piece of chocolate.
Yeah, seriously.
You know?
Like, yeah.
And again,
Accurate.
like, the bribing of the kids is hilarious, because I
Yeah.
also like try to limit that, because then I'm like, shit, then everything is gonna turn
Into
into
a
a
bribe. Yeah, seriously. But yeah, just the importance of of being content, and also knowing that what you're doing for your family is right.
Right.
And you can have friends who parents and live
Differently.
differently
And
than
it's
you, and
okay.
it's okay. This is
We
why
listen and we don't judge.
But thank you guys again for
Yes,
tuning into another
thank
episode of the Migas
you.
podcast. Please like, follow, subscribe, turn on your notifications on
All that
all that jazz
on
on
YouTube,
YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And then follow us on Instagram. On the gram.
Yes. And make sure to comment on here, especially on YouTube, Spotify. All the outlets have places for you to comment. Please comment. We want to engage with you. Again, share with someone that has never heard of the Migas. We're here to talk about motherhood, womanhood,
all the hoods.
all the hoods, and all the ebbs and flows, all
of
that
it.
jazz. Like, we're here to have the conversation. So join us.
Bye, guys.
Ciao, ciao, Mickey Mouse.